Eliminating Stress, Module 7, Advanced Stuff. A 3 principles based presentation. Copyright David Philip Kromka, 2024.
Substance abuse and eating disorders consist of using or opening and eating a snack pack we've got and temporarily producing pleasant sensations of short duration that mask the unhappiness we have with how life is working out. We're going to get thirstier, by the way. Mentally healthy people have no need to abuse substances. The point of using a substance is to feel happier, and since they're already happy, there's no need to do it. All of us have been born with the happiness we seek. Let troubling thoughts drift by and in silence find peace. Stop trying to develop strategies to claw your way out of the pits. Anything you can think of will be another sample of thought from the place you're trying to escape. See if you can find the humility to admit that you don't know what to do. Having humility softens the impact of incessant thinking while elevating your feelings. With elevated feelings come more helpful ideas, which may include noticing that now, since you feel better, there's nothing you need to do. Well, maybe get on with your life.
Regarding PTSD, consider life to be like driving down a highway where there can be potholes of varying sizes and there's no telling when one will show up. Living in mental health is like having good shock absorbers on your car. A PTSD event can be like hitting a significant pothole. We hit one, wham! It's a big surprise, and we're likely to shout, wow, or holy crap. However, because we're healthy and we have life ahead of us, we dismiss the event and focus on the life we have ahead. PTSD events can be extremely troubling thoughts, but they are still thoughts. The difference between thoughts and reality is that thoughts are optional. The more we dwell on happiness, the greater our perspective and the more we are insulated from the effects of PTSD thoughts. The past several slides have highlighted the complexities and problems that occur when we follow and act upon an invalid assumption, that is, life is supposed to make us happy. In light of how fruitless the assumption that life should make us happy has turned out to be, you'd think people would have caught on by now. Remember, focusing on and attempting to manipulate the various forms of life in order to produce happiness demands effort, produces strain, and robs us of the happiness we seek. If we give up the effort, we'll return automatically to dwelling in consciousness, which is our default setting, and from which love flows without effort.
If you love your job, you're not likely to bitch. Far from it. You're likely to be very engaged and productive. On the other hand, who can say what circumstances have brought you to work you don't really like? In that case, see if you can find the humility to do a good job regardless. Humility feels much better than hate. As we have seen, when we feel better, our perspective improves, and we're more likely to discover helpful ideas and possibilities.
The famous author Arthur C. Clarke has said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Technology advances as understanding deepens. The same is true in the area of happiness and mental health. As understanding advances, we hear different evaluations of the same topic. A math student might take the initial statement, calculus is really hard. However, sometime later, after having grasped what is being taught and advancing up levels of understanding, the same student might report, calculus is a breeze. So too, many would say that life is stressful, but on gaining a deeper understanding, matters will improve here as well.
What we don't recognize as thought, we call reality. The reality of a person in the pits of level 1 might be reported as, life is against me, or life is hard. Once again, if this person gains elevating insight, the report might be, things are pretty good, I just didn't understand before. So we might conclude that it's all thought. But once again, being able to say that authentically is not a function of the intellect. Understanding that it is all thought is a logical extrapolation of the evidence. However, having the experience that it is all thought is a product of a transcendent state of mind that literally sees it that way and brings with it an overwhelming and ecstatic feeling. You may think getting there is quite difficult, but the only thing that keeps us from seeing that is the thought we're presently holding. However, the intellect craves certainty and knowing, so it clings to thought. This seeing is not a product of the intellect. We can't make it happen. Rather, it's a gift of having abandoned the intellect. What we call real keeps changing. That is, our interim reality depends on what we understand. Consider more deeply that if something were really, really, really real, it would not change. Everything we see in this world changes. Some things change quickly, others slowly, still others very slowly, but the tides of change encompass all things. Matter and energy are in constant interplay. The only thing that endures lies beyond the boundaries of space and time. It never changes and is therefore absolutely real. It gives rise to all things. It is all things. To meet it is to meet love.
Love, also known as consciousness, is eternal, transcending both time and space. It exists in timelessness and therefore in unlimited supply. To see that this is true, you'll have to suspend your interest and engagement with your thoughts. As you do so, you'll find yourself settling into warm, rich feelings, and your sense of the pace of time is that it is slowing down. We get our sense of time as things change. When time stands still, nothing changes, and we find ourselves in a timeless state. Given that the consciousness and love we experience exist in timelessness and cannot change, it can never be depleted and therefore exists in unlimited supply. Thought provides the myriad forms taken on by life. Life is not supposed to make us happy. Each of us has been born with the love and happiness we seek. We've just gotten innocently distracted by the myriad forms of life. We get to watch consciousness illuminate thought and engage it or not.
When we sleep, we may find ourselves in the middle of a dream. We don't ask how we got there. We just accept that we're there and proceed. We just accept thoughts that come along, and we also accept others who are in the dreams without question. In this life, we proceed as well. We just accept that we are here and proceed with the thoughts that come along. We also accept others who are in this life without question. We recognize from here that those dream events are total fabrications of thought, but within the dreams we behave as if it's all real. Could this life be the same situation?
Now we are going to get into somewhat you might call real woo-woo outer space stuff, so hang on. We get our identity from our memories. We wouldn't even know our names without memory. In fact, most of the time we don't think our names to ourselves as we go about life. But moment by moment our thoughts change, and who is to say that the memories we have at this moment are the same as our memories at the previous moment, or that there was a previous moment? We trust the memories, but might they not be like a used car salesman saying, "Trust me," as well? Once again, thought is giving form to life. However, can you see that all of us exist outside of the form provided by thought. We get wrapped up in our thoughts the way we get caught up in a good movie at the theater. Here's a quote from an ancient Chinese philosopher. Once upon a time, I, Zhuangzi, dreamt I was a butterfly, fluttering hither and thither, to all intents and purposes a butterfly. I was conscious only of my happiness as a butterfly, unaware that I was Zhuangzi. Soon I awakened, and there I was veritably myself again. Now, I do not know whether I was a man dreaming I was a butterfly, or whether I am now a butterfly dreaming I am a man.
We enter our dreams and act without question as if we're participating in something real. We wake up in the morning and never question how we got here. We may run from monsters in our dreams, but now we're awake and we say that dreams are just thinking we do when we're asleep. We're thinking now as well, aren't we? We're granting every bit as much reality to the thoughts we're having now as we did to those thoughts of our dreams while we were dreaming. You may think, well, here I can question dream thoughts versus these thoughts, but how do you know these thoughts are not just more of your current dream? You might think that you have memories about having a past here, and you can ask other people here about your past, mutual experiences. But in your dreams, you take them and what they have to say as fact as well. Perhaps these others are co-conspirators with whomever is arranging this dream.
Thoughts are fleeting and change moment by moment. But given their transitory nature, isn't it amazing how much credibility we give to them? We all have the free will to believe thoughts as if they are real and engage them, or regard living in the warmth of consciousness as real and regard the fleeting thoughts as mere phantoms passing through. You can't think about this and get it right. New thinking arises from seeing something new, which is usually accompanied with a sense of awe and wonder. If you put your attention on thought on pause, you will effortlessly gravitate to the feeling that exists outside of time. Given that thoughts are fleeting and can rapidly change, we must understand that our memories are fleeting and can rapidly change as well.
As a sheet of paper serves as background for the words a pen writes, our consciousness serves as background for our passing thoughts. Both paper and consciousness get overlooked. Clearly, we are not our thoughts, for they pass, yet we are still here. Who then are we in the absence of our thoughts and our memories? Who is doing the overlooking? Each frame on a movie reel can be similar to the previous frame, or can switch to an entirely new scene. Our personal sense of continuity or change is provided by the thought that's currently on our minds. With each new thought comes a new memory saying, yep, been there, done that. Or, wow, that's new. Is it not possible that everything just popped into existence in this moment, complete with a set of memories that explain existence in terms of a temporal sequence? Just as a used car salesman says, trust me, when talking about a car he's selling, inherent in our memories is a trust me factor that says, I'm telling you this is the way it was. So there's a distinct possibility that what time B's memory has to say about time A's events, if time A ever existed, is a creative moment and might in no way be accurate or inaccurate, but we have no way of telling. We have no past other than what time B says happened. But does it matter? We really don't know if our memory is or is not a playback of our real history, or if we even have a real history. We've put a lot of faith in it, but is it really necessary? A creative life occurs in the moment, not drawn from memory. We may think we need our memory in order to know what to do and how to act, but that may be a memory as well. Generally, we consider knowledge to come from our history, our memories. If we decline to use our memory, we return to the everything nothing phenomenon. With nothing on our minds, everything becomes available. If we can do that, we can experience ourselves as something greater. Our passing thoughts give us a sense of time, but thoughts quickly vanish, and yet we are still here. If we decline to engage our phantom thoughts, we'll find ourselves in a timeless state, which comes with beautiful feelings included. We exist in timelessness, where there can be no history since there can be no before and after, just the present. We have come to visit the puzzle and drama of the world of thought. We've gotten caught up in it. Seeing a bigger picture is liberating. To live in the moment, we become a witness to life, even to what we are doing. Although we may be performing some kind of action, what is missing is the thought that appears to initiate the action. Our life is going on, but somehow we feel like we're on the outside looking in with a great sense of wonder. We can't get to that living in the moment thing by means of willpower or cleverness, as that would invoke the cause then effect dynamic. Furthermore, those mental gymnastics consume energy, drain us, and produce a mental fog that obscures what's going on. Living in the moment fills us with a beautiful sense of wonder, clarity, and love. Living in the moment, we become free of our past, regardless of what we think has happened, precisely because what we call our memories are just phantom thoughts. And in the moment, we are free of thought and the emotions linked to them. In timelessness, we find love, which is essentially the source of everything and a primary component of human beings. If you haven't gotten there or found it, it is probably because you hold some erroneous opinions about life.
We have three basic options available to us. Option one is dwelling exclusively in timeless consciousness. This is the equivalent of not entering the theater of life to watch the movie of thought. It is really not much of an option. As you see, we are already here. However, we can visit and it can benefit us. This was our condition before we were born. We can deduce this by looking into a young baby's eyes. Option two is innocently entering the theater and becoming dramatically caught up in the thought show. This is pretty much the human condition into which we were born. Option three is entering the theater of thought knowing that it will have only the reality which we give to it. Here we get to play with words, ideas, and so forth, knowing it is a play and marveling at the results. We may willingly get on a roller coaster knowing we'll be okay, but may bring along a clean pair of underwear just in case. Good surfing is characterized by living in the moment and artfully negotiating the existing conditions. If surfers think for even a moment about what just happened, they're liable to wipe out and eat it. They've got to keep their minds and eyes on what's taking place at the moment. There's no time when the radiant wisdom within is switched off. It is always present, available, and true to us. We learn to trust and make use of it. If we consider ourselves to be the surfers on the ebb and flow of life situations, most of us would have difficulty standing up, let alone getting a good ride, due to our frequent auditing of our lives, of worrying, of reviewing our past, and so on. Learning to surf over thoughts minimizes their significance and maintains our connection to the radiant wisdom within. It changes life from a struggle to uplifting anticipation. In a split second, every moment becomes the past and we're on to the next one. We don't have to know what to do. We can let the knowing come to us. Go forward needing nothing for support. If we have nothing, we have everything. Being ordinary, we're nothing special. In that state of mind, our thinking subsides and we feel the love within which means we're totally special. We feel peace and contentment. We love our lives. Let deeper feelings be our guide. If we consider following certain memories or ideas, our good feeling may start to fall away. It might be a good idea to let that stuff pass. On the other hand, if good feeling is sustained or turns into insight and inspiration, we can go with it. Each moment of our lives provides us an expansive and total experience to the extent we understand and can relax. Since we're all connected via our consciousness, our relationships tend to go well. Teams at work and humanity at large will work well together to the extent they share deeper feelings.
Okay, time to review the learning objectives. The DSM-5 lists the results of strongly holding to the erroneous belief that life should make us happy. 2. Learn the nature of consciousness as a sort of happiness. While thought provides life with form, consciousness provides life with substantive warmth, peace, and love. 3 basic options for living: dwelling in the ultimate reality of timelessness, or visiting timelessness for insights that help us here, or fumbling around not understanding what is happening. Learn to be selective when engaging memories. Memories can be like watching a movie with the mute button activated. As we watch, our understanding provides the dialogue and meaning. If we're feeling uncomfortable as we watch, it's not the movie, and it might do us well to let those memories pass until we regain our bearings.
By now, you must be gaining a sense of yourself as separate from the stories, the movies of your lives. Life can become a touching, inspiring mystery. We have thoughts which both come from and go to we know not where. We have the brilliant consciousness of love we share with others. Trying to conceptualize something transcendent never works because concepts imply limits. Take a mental step back to see if you can see something more to which words can point but cannot describe.
What we call reality depends on our state of mind or level of understanding. We tend to miss out on the all-inclusiveness of our existence because of our habit of focusing, looking at one detail then the next. People miss or nearly miss their exits from freeways, even though there have been signs for miles, because they've been focusing on other things. The module on consciousness established that consciousness is our mutual connection. We generally miss noticing that due to our habit of focusing as well. I related experiences that I have had regarding time, dramatically slowing down, attributable to my state of mind. Our feeling state indicates our depth of understanding. If we don't feel our hearts and minds have been touched, we haven't learned anything yet. It might sneak up on us, though. Deeper understanding provides a more expansive view of both this physical, temporal world as well as the realm of the human spirit. Ultimately, we can see that everything, over all times, already exists, and that there's just one spiritual entity playing the roles of many. There exists a dimension of seeing that extends beyond this world as we know it. To discover it, we must let go of our present feeling, our present certainty, whatever that may be, and allow ourselves to discover that we're part of something more profound. It can be difficult for some to venture in that direction for fear of the unknown. The point of this presentation is to indicate that peace, love, and mental health are and have always been waiting for your arrival. I have engaged in Zen and karate studies and practices as well. The methods there tend to be more like popping popcorn, The heat is turned up until something pops and you advance. If we could go to the projection booth of a movie theater, we could find all movies that might be shown have already been created. From a penetrating and stunning feeling of love, we can discover that all possible worlds and all possible times exist as well. It's a more profound and expansive now moment. So we have three principles that describe how our experience of life occurs. They are thought, consciousness, and the observer. Take away one of these three principles, and no experience of life occurs. If we only have thought and observer, there's no light of consciousness to illuminate thought, and so no experience of life occurs. It is like the marquee of a movie theater being powered off. No show tonight, folks. If we have consciousness and observer, we are in a timeless and formless state. We may have an enlightening experience, but there will be nothing to give life form. If we have consciousness and form without an observer, there's no one to have the experience. By the way, this is the answer to the Zen koan. If a tree falls in the forest and there is no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? One may say it does not, but one may also rightly ask, what forest?
Small child, eternally alone. What shall I do to pass the time? Well, I'll make up some pretend friends to play with. Just now, one of them is listening to these words. The lover waits for you outside of time, radiating impeccable love. It does not matter that you have not yet come. The lover loves regardless. If it did not love, it would not be the lover.